Good morning, everybody. So I thought I would tune in today and just show you guys a little bit of the project that I'm working on now. So all I have left to do is the Tui Bird and the branch and blossoms, and then I will be pretty much done, and then I just have to do touch-ups around the rest of it as well. So this is what I'm going to be adding today. So from what you can see that I've gone over a lot of my lines, but that's okay. It's easy enough because this is a very sanded surface. So this is the Fisher 400 paper. It's very easy to apply your color over the top. So there's no problems there. I mean, I even went over the skin with the blue background, and you can't tell that I did that after I put the skin, after I added more layers on top of the skin. So that's what's so great about the sanded paper, is the amount of layering you can do, and you can put light colors over dark. Okay, so I'm going to place my reference pretty much just underneath where I'm working, because that's going to make it easier for me to see my lines, because my reference photos here are the same size as my drawing, or as what I'm drawing, so it will be a lot easier to put those areas back in. So I'm just going to start working on the bird. I'm not sure if I'm going to use pan pastels in the bird. I think I'll probably mainly go with the pencils as well as the flowers in the branch, but we'll see. Maybe we will add some pan pastels to it later. But because there's a lot of texture in the bird, there isn't that many areas that you want to get entirely smooth, which is sort of the whole thing with pan pastels, is you can get very smooth results, hence the nice skin tone. But with pencils, because we're doing something that's got a lot of texture, we don't have to worry too much about it. So yeah, so I'm just gonna get started. Hey Maureen, hey Sandra, welcome guys. So I'm gonna jump straight into it now. Okay, I will zoom in. I was initially not going to zoom in because I've been recording from this camera that you guys are watching from. I've been recording my entire palette so that when I edit this video later, because my DSLR camera is recording close-up details, but later I want to be able to see my palette. But since we aren't touching the pan pastels for now, I can zoom in while I'm using the pencils. And then when we use pan pastels, unfortunately I have to zoom out, so you won't be able to get as close a view, if that makes sense. Okay, so I need to start recording. And I'm going to be zooming into the bird. Okay. Start. That's recording. Cool. And then let's zoom in over here. I think that should be good enough. Beautiful. Hey Joanna, nice to see you again. Majin, welcome. Cool. So the pencils I'm using my Polychromos pencils. The paper I'm using is the Fisher 400 paper. I adore this paper. I haven't had to use any solvents at all for this entire thing with my pencils and with the pan pastels. I haven't required any solvents. Plus I don't like the feel of solvent on this paper. It's sort of like just brushes off, so it's not as nice as what it is with the Canson Metons Text or Touch sanded paper. So if you can get such smooth results with such smooth and pigmented results without using solvent, then why not? I try to buy more of this paper, but it's so hard to get your hands on. I think a lot of people want this paper, so it's They still trying to manufacture it. Like even the big distributors of the paper haven't got them ready yet because this paper has become that popular, which is insane. But anyways, let's get started. Why am I so blurry? It's the Fisher 400 paper, Joanna. Okay, so I'm keeping this nice and close. I'm going to start off with my beak. And I think I'd like to use... indigo blue. Where have I put my pencils? There it is. And this paper definitely eats through your pencils, even more than what the Canson Meton's Texel Touch paper does, which is annoying. But it's okay. I think it's worth it with considering the results that you get from it. Okay, so I just want to put this beak back in. So I'm going to go real close over here. So I can just make sure I can see how far it goes. I think I can sort of see my outline there. So I'm just going to get my lines back. Okay. Now here next to the eye is pretty much covered in indigo blue, so I'm just going to put that in. And the indigo blue is number 157. Oh really? That's so cool. Jamie's asking, did everyone get a notification that the chat will be available to people who watch the live stream after it's finished? I did not. Or maybe I wasn't looking properly. But that is pretty cool. I'm wondering why there's this line right here next to me. It should disappear. Hey Joanna, yeah, so I have a green screen behind me, and then it's called chroma key. So in OBS, which is the broadcasting software I use to do my live streams, you can put a filter on your video called chroma key, and then it automatically cuts out the green background. So it can put you in front of anything you want, which is cool. Okay, now I want to use like a magenta-ish sort of color. So magenta. Jamie's asking, how did you learn all the technical stuff in regards to software and recording? YouTube. Just researched a lot of YouTube videos. YouTube literally has everything you need. If you need a tutorial on something, you can find it there. So they have heaps of tutorials on how to use OBS for live streaming. This is magenta number 133. I don't know if I said that. There's a beautiful orange in here. So I'm going to use orange glaze number 113. long time no see. Now I'm going to use I think light red violet number 135. Here's a little bit of the dark flesh, number 130. Cream, number 102. Thanks, Maureen. Yeah, that's a good reminder. I'm going to use some of the light phthalo blue, number 145. use it around the eye as well. Indigo blue. Phthalo blue number 110. So I did a acrylic pouring workshop this weekend. It was so much fun. And we've decided that we're going to do another one on the 7th of April. We are going to do acrylic pours on 3D objects. So we're going to do acrylic pours on rocks and like those balls that are made out of foam. And I don't know, we're going to try all sorts of cool things. Maybe we'll stack various size boxes on top of each other and then put the pour over that and do 3D pours. So that's going to be epic. I'd love to record that sort of stuff for you guys live, but it's way too hard. You need a lot of space, and then for me to set up all my cameras and that is just... I could probably use my phone and take like a clip, but I can't show you guys how I do it. Not as neat and tidy in video form as what I'm doing here. Not unless I set up a whole other area and move all my equipment there. Plus, I don't think I'd feel comfortable enough doing tutorials on that. I can show you what I do, but not tutorials because I've only recently learned how to do it myself. Workshops, I don't mind. I mean, it's just a fun day out with friends, pretty much. I had everyone bring their old acrylic paints and we just had fun with it and it turned out really cool. But on the 24th of March, I am doing a pan pastel workshop. So we're going to be doing an owl. So that's going to be fun. Yeah, well, with your names, just use your first name instead of your full name. Or if you really want to confuse the hell out of me, use some weird name and let me know what it is, and I'm sure over time I will remember your YouTube names. Sounds like you guys should just come to Australia. With all the weather things happening with you guys, I think you should all just come here. I'm gonna add a bit more of that orange because it's so bright and pretty. So orange glaze 113. the indigo blue over here. So you guys see what the texture that you get from the pencil. So it's the same concept. So we're going to seal that with fixative. And then when we go over that again, it's like the same with pan pastels. You do a layer, and then when it moves around too much and you can't add more layers, you seal it with fixative, and then you add more layers, and the next layer comes out stronger, more pigmented, more coverage. Same thing with the pencils. You're going to seal in a layer once you're happy with that layer, or you want to keep it down, and you want to lose that slight texture of the paper, seal it in, and then the second layer of pencils that you're going to apply to it is going to appear even more pigmented. I hardly ever see those crazy bugs that you guys mention in Australia. They're here, but it's not like they're in the real populated areas. It's more of a concern if you're out in the middle of nowhere in a farm. Yeah, Majin. I agree. How many of you on here are $15 subs? Maureen, I'm not sure if I'm going to even use the pan pastels on the bird. But everything else I've done so far is pan pastels. So the skin, the patterns I created with the stencils, the lips were pan pastels and then details with pencils. Everything else is pan pastel with detail with pencils. But the bird and the branch and the blossoms, I think I'm just going to do pencils. Hello? What are you doing? Just a nasty tea this morning. Yes. Hey Tracy. Okay, so I think it's just Maureen. That's a $15 sub on here. Okay, cool. So what I think I'm going to do with the $15 subs, because I'm not getting a chance to do the fantasy art drawings, and I don't even know if I'll really get a chance to do the photo editing videos either. So I'm thinking that I'm just gonna switch them over to the $8 platform, and then the difference would be that the $15 subs will be entered into every single giveaway automatically. So whether it's a giveaway that I'm doing live, or a giveaway that I'm doing in the monthly challenge, any giveaway that I do, the $15 subs will automatically qualify to be entered into those giveaways. And then I don't have to worry so much about it, because I'm just not getting... The whole thing with the $15 subs is the fantasy art thing, which I'm not getting to, unfortunately. So that's just gonna have to... And now that I'm getting more free art supplies. I need to do more videos with that, so that's kicking into my time, because I'm doing another pan pastel pack and giveaway and demo like this on the 30th of March. And then I'm doing the podcast with Ellen. I'm doing 2 live hangouts with 2 different artists this month, Kid Slams Art and Amy Howard. I'm doing 2 workshops this month. I did one this past weekend, and yeah. And then I'm getting some free stuff again from Arteza, so we'd have to do things with their stuff again. And I'm just not getting to the fantasy art things. So I think I'm just going to have to scrap that one. And so those that are in the $15 subs, you can either reduce your subscription to the 10 or the 8, or you can stay a $15 sub and automatically qualify for all the giveaways. And you don't even have to be there, but you'll qualify. Maureen says that sounds great. That's good. Bob says sounds good. Okay. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. Like, there's not enough hours in a day, and I just can't. I want to, as long as you guys know that the intent is there, but I'm just not getting the chance to do it. Okay, I just want to find this outline again. Just goes from the bottom here. Tracy is a $15 sub. She's happy with that. Diane, good too. Okay. Thanks, guys. I'll send out a proper little announcement email about that anyways. Yeah, the Fisher 400 paper. This bird has a lot of weird texture over here. It's very textured there. So I'm just moving on to this section of the wing. Still with the indigo blue, number 157. Now if you find, I'll show you something just there on the lip, you can just see at the top of the screen. So sometimes when you blow off that excess pencil, you will get some parts of the pencil particles sticking to other parts of the paper. So use your putty. Use your putty eraser. Let me pause that. Use your putty eraser to lift it off. Because I've already covered all of this in fixative, so even if I get a dark mark right on her skin, the putty eraser will lift it off without lifting the bottom layers off. Okay, thank you, Christy. Luella's asking what the name of the color show. Yes, so I'm editing all of these videos, and the names of the colors will be on there. The pan pastels and the pencil colors will be on the tutorial video, which is going to be on the Pan Pastel YouTube channel and website, not on mine. But I'll put it in the portal, so you guys will still get it, have it in the portal. It's just not going to be on my YouTube. Jamie's asking, will I blend the bird face? It already looks so good. Well, I'm going to seal it with fixative and then do another layer so that I can get rid of that textured look right in there. So you can still see a bit of the paper, which I don't want. I want it to look, I don't want any of the paper color coming through. So this is pretty much underpainting phase still. Okay, I want to find my flowers again. Yes. I'm going to use middle purple pink, 125. I'm just paying attention to my reference, which you can't see. Okay. And my indigo blue. Which I should really sharpen. Middle purple pink, the 125. I'm not recording this whole thing. There we go. So many things to think about. Making sure the camera angles from 2 cameras are right. Making sure the live stream is going smoothly. And making sure that I can see everything all the time. It's not just a matter of drawing, unfortunately. So some days I do just like to not do a live stream and just draw, because it's nice when you can just draw without thinking about everything else except the nice peaceful feeling you get when you draw, because you're trying to make so many other things function. But then again, I also get to the phase where I'm like, oh, I want to live stream again. Like I felt like I really wanted to live stream today, because the last couple of days I've been drawing, but it's been so quiet. So it's like, yeah, sometimes the quiet's nice, but then not always. You just need it every once in a while. Okay, let me sharpen this. Jamie's asking, do you still draw just for you? I haven't in a while. I haven't. That's alright. This is what I do full time. This is my work. So... But you know, that being said, I pick my own drawings, so that's the best part. I don't draw completely for my subscribers. So with me being able to pick the subject matter that I know I would enjoy drawing, or that I have the feeling to draw, then that's just as good as doing a drawing for myself. So, and I've stopped taking commissions, so the stress of doing an entire artwork that I have no drive to do, and I'm just doing it for the money, I don't have that stress anymore, which is good. Commissions is not something I used to enjoy it, but not anymore, so I've just stopped, and that's good for me. It works for me. Sorry I'm texting. I'm trying to organize a remedial massage. I feel like I really want a nice massage, because I feel like I am getting like a needle pushed into my shoulder blade, my right shoulder blade, and it drives me crazy. And then sometimes it just happens, and then it makes me jump. And it's just, and it feels tight. Like I don't know if you've ever felt like, I don't know, if you have a sore muscle and you just stretch it out, you get relief. But like I have that, and then it doesn't matter how I stretch it, I'm not getting relief in that muscle. So I think it just needs a little bit of work. So I'm just trying to sort that out and organize an appointment. Massage does sound wonderful. I should really have something under my hand for this. So I'm just paying attention to my reference over here, just trying to find these lines again. Have I tried a TENS machine? No, I don't know what that is. sounds so good. And yes, Majin, that sounds... A rotary cuffed hair. Ooh. I know. But what you're describing, yeah, that's... Some days it feels really uncomfortable and some days I'm not fussed by it at all. Cool, yeah, send me the link. It sounds nice. Thank you. Okay, now that we have our outlines back, well, almost. We just got to do this branch and flowers here. Wait, we got these still. Okay, I'll make sure I read the instructions properly. Now we're talking so much about it and now I can really feel it. Okay, now I have my outline. Good. Hey, Marie. Use magenta number 133. I'm just seeing the underpainting phase first. I'm not worried about details yet. just going to take about a 5-minute break. I just want to make a phone call real quick. And then I'll be right back. Luella, yes, you heard me correctly. Okay, I'll be right back. That's alright. It's nice to have you whenever we can. Tracy, I sleep on my stomach with my right leg up. That's my favorite way to sleep. So I always sleep on my stomach. Good night, Sandra. Thank you for joining us. Ugh, okay. So I have to get this done today because tomorrow we are doing the Color Pencil Magazine March Challenge. So we're going to use watercolor pencils as a underpainting, and then we're going to use our wax and oil-based pencils for detailing over the top. So that's what we're doing tomorrow. So I have to get this done so that it's out of the way. My dogs have 2 stretcher beds outside, and it's sort of just outside this room, and they sit against the brick wall, and they like to scratch their backs and their necks on the material of the stretcher beds, and that's what you can hear banging against the wall. So they do like these flips over so that they can scratch their necks, and then they roll on their backs like that, and then it makes such a noise. Yes, I'm going to be using my Fabriano Artistico hot pressed watercolor paper. Yeah, thanks, Tracy. I'm glad you got it. Thank you, Maureen, for sending the postcards. Yeah, well, I think I have less than 10 Australian students. Well, I don't know how many Australian students I have. I don't have that many, so it's much cheaper to just pay international post from the US to those in in Australia, because majority of the postcards are going around in the US, and you get it quicker too, I think, if Maureen sends it. That reminds me, I need to send you the next list, actually. But yeah, I'm very, very lucky to have Maureen. It helps a lot. Okay, indigo blue. I'm gonna have to unpack this entire table when I'm done here and clean it properly, because there's just pencil crumbs everywhere. Tracy's asking, are you loving the paper you're working on? Looks quick to work on. Yes, I love this paper, but it's so difficult to get your hands on. So this is my last sheet of this paper. It's a Fisher 400 paper, and I try to order some more, but you just can't. Everywhere, it's unavailable. I can't find any place where it's available right now. They're manufacturing more. So I'm going to use the UArt 400 paper to see if that can compensate for this one. Ooh, we do have a couple of Aussies on here today. So this section of the neck is just to sort of find those textures. I'm not worried about details. I'm not worried about going too dark. I just want to sort of get these funky textures in. I'm going to use some of the bluish turquoise 149. Foundation color for some of these wings. Tracy's in WA. Bye, Marion. Thank you for joining us. Hey, Mo. Indigo blue. Use some of the Helio Turquoise 155. Okay, we're starting to get the colors we want. Now, let's actually have, because the powder blender, the brush and pencil powder blender, should work really well on this paper. So let's give it a go. Just need a clean little, let's take a new one. So I'm going to take a new pan pastel sponge, the triangular one. I'm gonna dip it into that. Oh, far out. I didn't record any of that. Battery died. Ay, ay, ay. Alright, recording. Jamie's asking if I was drawing for myself, would I have it taped down? No, I wouldn't. I would be turning it upside down and all sorts of angles. If I wasn't recording. So yes, I do tape it down to keep it in the frame. Yeah, my indigo blue pencil is getting shorter pretty quick. But indigo blue is one of the pencils that I always do buy extra of, because that's indigo blue, white, or not white in the polychromos, but I probably will now that I like using the sandpaper so much more. But indigo blue, white, black, and there's a brown, raw umber, I think, raw umber. They the colors I tend to always need. So I'm okay with blending all of this smooth, I guess. So I'm just gonna pretty much tap the powder on the blending powder, and it should give a nice coverage over the paper. Oh, this works great on this paper. I don't like using the brush and pencil powder blender because I haven't found a paper that I like using it on, but it definitely works good on the Fisher 400 paper. Check it out. As an underpainting, this is perfect. Just to get proper coverage, and it does take away that texture. Okay, so this is the paper to use this on. I didn't like it on the Meton's text or touch paper. And you're supposed to use it with a sanded paper, but I guess the Canson paper is just not quite as nice. I don't know what it is, but this paper feels great with this powder blender. How's that for an underpainting? That's perfect for an underpainting. Just using whatever's left on here to sort of how cool is that? That's epic. Great. I'm going to seal that in because I don't want any of that to change. Barb says she bought some Fisher 400 from Brush and Pencil. Oh. I don't think Brush and Pencil is shipped to Australia yet. That's the problem. And I'd rather wait till they manufacture it and have it in Australia, because shipping paper to Australia or international it costs so much money. It's stupid. It's not worth it. Shipping ends up costing twice the price of the paper, and that paper's already expensive. Okay, so I'm using my Mikado matte fixative. Let me open my window. Now before you spray, make sure there aren't extra marks somewhere else that you don't want them, that you need to lift off with a putty eraser. I'm already getting inquiries on my next workshop. People want to book in. It's unreal. Okay. I think I want to do the flowers. What do I do? Yeah. I would like to do the flowers first, I think. Finish them. And then I will finish the bird. Good to go. So I'll keep this nice and close. So I want to do these flowers over here. So I'll probably put this tray here. The best thing about these flowers is that you don't have to get it completely accurate because no one's gonna know. So the color I just used there was dark flesh number 130, and now I'm going to use some of the light flesh number 132. I'm not looking forward to editing this video because I have to watch this all again with every single color, and then with every color that I pick up or use I need to pause, enter the color, carry on, next color. You know how long that's going to take? I think I've already spent a good, I don't know, 15 or 18 hours on this. But it doesn't matter, that's just me complaining, really. I should not be complaining about that. But I'm so happy that I do most of my live classes just live like this, because I don't have to spend all that time editing, because I just don't get as much content out there if I do. I guess I can zoom in here. Same with this one. Thanks, Bonnie. Remember the Valentine's rose that I did for last year's collaboration with Lisa. I did the red rose and the water droplets. So I'm going to be doing that one for pan pastels, except I'm not going to have like the patterns and that over the top, so I'm just doing the reference. And I'm going to be doing it this big size, so massive rose with the water droplets. So that's going to be the one that we're going to be start working on the 30th of March. And then I made up my own palette with pan pastels of colors specific to that one. So it's going to be a kit of 20 pan pastels. And pan pastels, because they watched the first live stream that we did and said that they will be willing to give me a second giveaway, so that I am giving away 2 things instead of just one. And I will also be they're sending me a full kit of pan pastels so that I don't have to use the pan pastels that I'm giving away. Isn't that insane? So I'm gonna have my own a whole new kit of pan pastels that I can use for the lives, and then the ones that I give away I don't use. So whatever you guys get from the giveaways will be brand spanking new. So I'll just open them, show you what it is, close them, and that's it. And then show you what I use those colors for. So I made up my own palette for the rose, and we're going to be doing a big like this one, and there'll be 2 giveaways on that day. 30th of March is Good Friday. Well, my 30th of March, yes, which is your 30th of March, Jamie, but technically the 29th of March for you guys. I know, isn't that insane? Pan pastels is amazing. So that's why I'm more than happy to make the extra effort to give them really great tutorial videos. They didn't ask for it, but I will definitely be doing it for them because of the supplies that I'm getting. So I really want to make it worth their while, you know. I want them to see how appreciative I am because it's just ridiculous the amount of things I'm getting, and that they're willing to give you guys new giveaways every month. So, and you guys are seeing how much time this is taking. So if that's also what's cutting into my time with the fantasy art drawing piece. Because I'd much rather spend the time on this, where you guys can get more stuff, and then the $15 subs will automatically qualify for all those giveaways, because I'm not getting the time for the fantasy art piece, which I'm grateful how much you guys are very understanding. So I'm very grateful for you guys. I feel like I have the best students ever. Yeah, of course, the fox will still happen. No, definitely. Those things will all still happen. Everything else still happening. It's just the fantasy art piece that I'm not going to get to. So using some of the dark cadmium orange, number 115. Oh, I love this color. Orange is my favorite color. Oh my gosh, look how bright that is. I better not go too crazy with that one. I'm using the magenta 133. Oh, such a nice breeze coming through. Yep, camera's all good. It's alright, I got my watch started again. It's just when I walk away and then when I come back, then just that start time that I forget. Thanks though, Jamie. I was particularly careful with this one because I can't miss out on any video clips of this one. using middle purple pink 125. Oh my gosh, Maureen. Aw. Beautiful. And then I see some pure purple violet 136. I made this a bit lower than what it should be, but that's okay. Did you guys hear about the outbreak of listeria? So we had all our rock melons recalled because they had a bacteria called listeria, and there's been 4 people in Australia that have died from it. It's crazy. I eat rock melon all the time, almost every week. I love melons, but they obviously recalled it when this happened, so they aren't available right now. But isn't that weird? And then I think I read an article somewhere that the source was actually South Africa, and the source was from processed meat. So I don't know how the source of processed meat can spread to rock melons. If that, how do they get together in order for the rock melons to get that bacteria. Jamie's asking, do Pan Pastel contact you for these samples and videos? Maureen actually got in touch with Pan Pastel, and Pan Pastel got in touch with me. So yeah, I guess they had a look and then decided they could see that I use their product a lot, and I guess they decided that they'd get in touch. Because I think they also saw how I do giveaways, so they were happy to send me some stuff. But yeah, they got in touch with me through through Maureen letting them know about me. Yeah, Diana's crazy, isn't it? Let's use some yellow. So cadmium yellow 107. Oh, that's cool. Using light flesh number 132. And the scary part about the listeria as well is it can spread to other fruits, and they've had 180 people in South Africa have died from it. 4 in Australia, 180 from South Africa. And the reason they think it comes from South Africa is because there's a factory there, and they did the tests there, and they found it everywhere. They found the bacteria everywhere. The factory makes polony. You know, the processed meat polony. So that's what they mainly make, and it was just covered in the bacteria. And I don't know if maybe the factory is close to some fruit farming factories, or I don't know how it got to the rock melons. But the freaky part is that it can spread. That bacteria can easily grow on other fruits and veggies. So hopefully it doesn't spread, because that'd be a vegan's worst nightmare. Gotta keep an eye on the news, I guess, and make sure that we're careful. I love those colors. I think that looks great. That looks so cool. could see what I see. This camera doesn't do it justice. Yeah. Okay, let's go to these flowers over here. I'm going to sharpen this. Yeah, I'm thinking that I'm gonna stick to, because lately I've been lazy and I've just been buying veggies at our local Woolies. But I think I'm just gonna go back to Vinnie's Fruit and Veg, because they only use South African, they only use Australian produce. They don't have any imported produce. So even though, you know, the Australian produce now does have the bacteria, hopefully it's only the imported stuff and not on any of the farms over here. I don't know. Maybe I might just call them and ask them about it. Find out what they know. Can't see what I'm doing. Yeah, I think I might have a break, have some lunch and stuff, and I might not get this done today. if I don't get this done today, then I'm just going to postpone the Color Pencil Magazine challenge by another day, and then I'll continue this tomorrow if I don't get it done. But just keep an eye on the student portal, and then in the Facebook page I'll let you guys know if I'm going to postpone it for another day if I don't get this finished. But I will still aim to get it done. Okay. So I think for a period of 2.5 hours, that's pretty good. How far we got. So I'm quite happy with it. I think it's gonna look amazing. I think this is becoming one of my favorite drawings. Oh, and I used this stencil. Roses 6x6 stencil. I don't know what the brand is. It's made in the USA. I got it from Crafts Online or onlinecrafts.com.au, and I got a whole bunch of different stencils. So I think this is really a fun little thing to use with pan pastels. And then that's how I got all those pretty designs on there. So it's starting to look really nice. So that's it. So once these flowers are, you know, popping out nicely, and once the bird is in, it's gonna make this all look really nice. I'm excited to see what it's gonna look like in the end. Oh, cool. Thanks, Diane. Diane says you can buy stencils in Kaiser Craft. They have tons of them. Buy them in the shop or online. Awesome. Thank you. Okay, guys. I will, if I don't finish this today, then I might pop on again live tomorrow for you guys, if you guys want to carry on with me. Otherwise, if I do finish today, then we'll do the Color Pencil Magazine drawing tomorrow, which I'm going to do that really small, so probably postcard size, so that we can get it done in one live, potentially two, because I know even though I draw that small doesn't necessarily mean I'll get it done in one session. But I don't want to start it until this is finished, because it's too hard to clean the station and then put it all back again afterwards. So I'm sure you guys get that. Okie dokie. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you guys soon. I'll see you guys tomorrow. If I'm busy with this, then I'll see you guys tomorrow with this. If I'm not, I'll see you with the color pencil challenge. So see you tomorrow. Alrighty. Bye.